I forgot what I was.
It's Ray.
Hey y'all, it's Ray,
And I'm B.
and welcome back to another episode of Talkz.
Oh my gosh.
Because this is the third time we are not having to record. Y'all, oh my gosh, oh my goodness. The first time it was just too much mooing. The second time, this one's squeaking in the back.
Like a duck, you know? Like, can you hold that in?
No, because somebody has loose bowels. Dang. But what's up, y'all? Welcome. It's Ray
And B.
and welcome back to another episode of
Talkz.
This week's episode is Getting Back to You. And this is a good episode because I feel like we haven't recorded in a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's been, a few weeks?
Yeah, I want to say like over a month.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Look at the last time.
The episode 9.
Yeah.
And this is the last episode before we go into a break. And then we go to the new season. But I wanted to talk about getting back to you because I just been drifting away from who I am. And just kind of, not really keeping up with my hobbies or my goals or anything like that. I feel like I'm starting to slip through the cracks. So I feel like this will be a good episode to kind of express that.
Yeah.
So let me do my little spiel. It's the middle of the year and you seem to have lost yourself. You may have stopped doing your hobbies. You fell off your routine and you're trying to navigate your way through the year. Welcome to an episode of Talkz, y'all, where we're going to talk about getting back to you. Okay, so, again. How has this year so far been for you? Have you been keeping up with your personal goals, your personal hobbies? How has this year so far been treating you?
Yes, I've been keeping up with my personal goals, the goals I've made. I feel like I'm still on track to attain those because I'm very serious about it. And even though I have, tired days or whatever, the focus never loses. I'm still, when I'm not tired again, I'm back. And, I'm still on it. When I'm tired, I'm still thinking about it. That's what I want, and I know that's, my goal. Achieving those goals is what's gonna make me happy now and in the long run.
Yeah, so. I feel like even when I get to that moment where it's like, oh my gosh, this takes forever, I still keep my mind on the important stuff, like my career, my job, just doing things that I want to get done this year. And I feel like that keeps me motivated, and keeping the job and keeping my goals going keeps me like, oh, well, I want to do this year. I want to do that. But in order to do this, I have to go through A, B, and C. So
it's a process.
It's a process, and it's a very long process and a tiring process. But I feel like if I want to get to where I want to be by the end of the year, I have to keep going.
Yeah, and you can't take shortcuts. You want quality. You want quality. So you don't want to take a shortcut.
Yes,
that's the way you go.
And yeah, because that's really gonna throw you off. So let's talk shifting career and sticking to the plan. So recently, I want to say during my pregnancy or a little bit after that during my pregnancy, because it was my second trimester, I shifted my career into what I really wanted to do. I got out of the restaurant industry, and I'm so glad that I got out of the restaurant industry, y'all, because that is the most toxic industry I have ever done in my life. Like, it's awful. So switching over from that and getting into what I wanted to do was one of the biggest changes I made last year and this year, because I also started school, or will be starting school. I enrolled. And I feel like that was one of the biggest things that I did this year, because I just kept talking about doing it. I just kept, when I'm not pregnant anymore, I'll do it. When he turns this age, I'll do it. But I feel like God was steering me in the right direction. Like, he kept my mind focused on what I really wanted to do. And he was like telling me, well, maybe this is not the right time. Maybe you should go back to work first and then see what else we can do next. So I enrolled into school, which was a process. I had to take my TSI exam. I had to get with my administratives, go on these dang Zoom calls. And, the schools can be a little ghetto because they have people at the front desk that apply for the job but don't want to do it in the morning.
I don't get that.
I don't get that, but go off.
No professionalism at all.
At all, zero. It's like, you can go to school too, boo.
And like, I feel like if y'all hiring anybody, hire me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you hire, you know, but whatever.
Right. The wrong people get the right jobs,
Girl.
and that's crazy. But I feel like me making that big change was what really pushed me to that motivation. And me enrolling into school was like, okay, I'm doing something this year.
Yeah.
So I think that was one of the highlights so far of my year. How about you? What shifts have you made with your career?
Well, I mean, I can't start school until the fall.
But you're planning on going to school, so that's a big.
I'm planning. I've zeroed in on how I'm gonna take it, the steps I'm gonna take, and the path I'm going. So I'm definitely gonna be enrolling. I gotta make sure that I have all of my ducks in a row, and you know, all of the prerequisites and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I've done all of that, and I feel like I'm on track still.
I was telling her, y'all, before I had to re-record, I was telling her how the field that she's going in is the perfect field for her because during my pregnancy, she was a great caregiver. I was sick Saturday and Friday. Yes, Saturday and Friday. Or Thursday and Friday, whatever. Saturday and Friday, I was sick. And she really, like, showed that medical side. And before my mom even talked about medical this year, my mom has been doing medical. Like, my mom has been doing medical. Like, she was already in it. It's just, you know, she put her kids first, which a lot of parents do. And that, I want to bring that up, too. I feel like moms of a lot tend to push their career to the side to take care of their family. Yeah. And I think that's something that my mom did. Like, she put her kids 100% before her. And I'm really grateful for that, but I do wish she would have just took that medical side because she looked cute in her scrubs. She had a little bobblehead, and she just looked so cute in her scrubs. But I really did see her in that field, and she was going to school during the day?
During the day while y'all was at school and stuff like that, and everybody be home at the same time.
At the same time, yeah.
Because I would get out at 3 and stuff like that. So, but then when the clinicals start to come, you know, you got to be there at
every
6 o'clock every day for 5 weeks. And that's when, back then, my boys were not old enough to stay home, and y'all were not old enough to take care of them like that or get them to that. So I had to get them to daycare at 6 and be at clinicals at 6. So I had to let something go and just get into the
and I just wish like colleges provided like daycare. Like it would just make it an easy balance. Because if my college provided a daycare, I would be taking my son to school with me every day. There would be no reason for me not to show up to class. So, but what was I saying before that? What was I saying before that? Oh, how I think that you're great for the medical field. Like, now she's really getting back on her track with the medical field, and I'm happy that she's revisiting that because I feel like that's definitely where you belong. Like,
it's not something that I'm just making money. I mean, the money's gonna be great, but I feel like it's in my blood.
It's a passion.
It's a passion of mine, and I'm willing to learn all that I can learn.
Yeah.
And
some people get into that career for the wrong things. Like, I know people that get in that career just for the money, and I will never understand it because then you end up treating your patients like shit. Like, just don't do the field. Then there's other ways you can make a whole bunch of money where you're doing something that you're enjoying, that you love, with making the money. But go off. I know with my career, this is something I have a passion for. I've been wanting to do this since I was a child. Okay. I'm multi-passionate. So I'm the type of person that goes after every single passion that I want. Everything that I want to do, I go after it. Is he laughing? Oh. So that brings me to a point in the year where you feel like you just fell off. Where was a point where you feel like, oh, I may have fell off here, and if I didn't do that, then this wouldn't happen? Or do you feel like you had a point of that this year?
I really wouldn't call it falling off, but you know.
Well, you know, us kids call it falling off or whatever. Yeah. Like, you feel like you kind of dropped the ball.
I didn't
Maybe
drop
that's
the
y'all
ball.
terms.
Because I made a decision and I stuck with it, and I made a decision to leave my job.
Yeah.
And because I was not happy at all. I was like, when you start pulling up to work and crying in the parking lot and trying to get yourself together, you need to reevaluate that. And I feel like I am too old to be going through stuff like that.
No,
and then playing with my money and stuff like that. I did not like that. And so, but giving me more tasks.
Yeah. And then promising you this bonus. Yeah, and you don't get it.
I feel like they was playing in my face.
Yeah, it's like they're dangling a carrot and you're like reaching out to get it.
So I said I can't do it. So I knew everything that was coming along with that when I decided to leave, but I still feel good that I took a step, and instead of just sitting there, I know you're supposed to keep your job while looking for another one, but sometimes it just wouldn't have been good for me. So, but yeah, things are I feel like things are looking up and everything is going to be just fine, and I'm still on track to my goals.
Yeah.
So that's just how it is. It's like a cooling off period. I'm gonna call it that.
I remember times like that when I was working in the industry. I'll be sitting in the garage, and I'll just be like, "Oh my gosh! Like I hate this job. I hate coming to work. I hate doing this. Why am I doing this to myself?" And I'll be like, "But I need the money." But then I'll be like, "But I can always fall back on my parent. Like I can always just stay home. Why am I doing this to myself?" And I feel like it took me getting pregnant to really be like, I don't have to do this. Like, I could switch careers. Let me just go for something that I love doing instead of showing up to these little rinky-dink ass jobs that I hate. Yeah. Let me do something that I love doing. And so that's why I jumped into my field. And I absolutely love my jobs now. Like, these are not just kiddie jobs to me. These are like jobs that's getting me experience.
Yeah, these are like adult jobs.
This is what we call big girl jobs. Yeah. So this is my little big girl job, and I feel like this job that I'm trying to get now
is gonna prepare you. And then when you go to class, you're gonna kind of go hand in hand. You're gonna be familiar with your teaching.
When I was in my lash course, I was already kind of practicing and looking at videos of lashing and whatever. And then when I got into class, I was like, oh, okay, so I know how to do that, and it became easier to me. So now it's like when I get that experience outside of class and bring it into class, I'm already kind of knowing what I'm talking about. So I feel confident that this is the route that I'm supposed to be going on, and I'm really, really proud of myself for taking that big of a step, because that's nothing you play with. That's somebody else's, child that you're playing with. That you don't do that. Yeah. So I feel like I'm really outdoing myself this year. I outdid myself last year. Let's talk about that, because last year, last year and the year before, I was wild goose everywhere, running around with the wrong people.
A mess.
A shame.
Shame to the family.
Embarrassing. Okay. But now I feel like I'm making myself proud. I'm making that person proud. Like I'm making me 2 years ago proud, and that's all I'm not in competition with none of you hoes. I'm not in competition with none of you raggedy ass hoes. Yeah. I'm in competition with me and myself.
I was gonna say that. Me and your path is your path. It's supposed to go the way it's supposed to go for you.
And you know what?
Be in competition with yourself.
Excuse me.
That's me. I'm in competition with myself. Like I'm about to make the young woman that was living. I'm gonna go on here because that shows progress.
Yes.
Living over in South Lawn.
In the lawn, girl. In the lawn.
I was starting out. I lived in the lawn with all 4 of my kids. We had respect there amongst the people because people like when you live amongst when you live in places like that, they can tell that you are kind of a different breed, and they see that you're trying to better yourself.
Yeah, they watch everybody.
They watch everything you do when you don't think they are. They're like, oh, she keeps her kids clean. She's doing this. She's going to school.
Yep. She get up in the morning. Like my mama was very much respected.
Yeah, they respected me.
Sure.
I wasn't in no mess. But I guess what? We kept on going. So I'm making that girl then proud.
I think you are. So, and you should give yourself a pat on the back for that one.
And when you move and when you stay in places like that, you gotta constantly grow. Like when I was living there paying $5 in rent, I was using that as a stepping stone. Okay, then I moved to the next place. And from that place, I moved on to the 4-bedroom house. And from there, over there, by NRG. And now I am where I'm at now. It's a progress. It's a progress. You gotta make progress.
It's like those small things, you don't see it. It's like I could be doing more. But it's like when you sit back and look at how far you have come, it makes you just like, damn, I really should cut myself some slack because I have come from nothing to where I'm at now. And that's where I'm trying to get myself, like, I'm trying to create a space for me and my son where I'm like, dang, we really started at grandma's house. And like Pierre Bourne said, I remember sleeping on my grandma's couch. What? Yeah. I'm trying to be like, yeah, I was at grandma's house. And now mommy has her own home. Mama got her own car. Mama got her career going. We just go to grandma's for visit. I might even ask grandma for $20 for a little Starbucks.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to do. It's a process.
I'm always in competition with myself, and I'm always trying to better myself.
Outdo yourself.
And that's it. And I'm doing that. I'm gonna get that.
It just takes time, and I have to keep telling myself, you're 23. You're not about to. You're 23. Like you still have so much time.
Yeah.
Too much time, if you ask me, but you have so much time.
And your life is just beginning.
To make mistakes, to learn from them, and grow.
God knows your heart. When you're doing things the right way, it's gonna always be ordained and blessed because you're doing things. You're doing it with the good intent.
Like purity.
It's pure.
Yeah.
Not because you're trying to do this on that person. Because then it'll always be disruption and mayhem.
And then that backfires in your face. When you're trying to do it to outshine somebody else or be like, oh, well, look, I did that because I'm trying to get back at you.
Yeah.
It's just going to blow up in your face.
That's not with God. That's not of God. It's not of Jesus. It's not of none of that.
And I think that's a blessing that's not going to get kept. When you finally get your blessing in spite of someone else, that's something that's not going to get kept. That's going to be a temporary blessing.
Especially when it's not really that much.
When it's not really that much.
It's not nothing.
When it's not that much. When you haven't lived, then it's not that much. But go off.
Just like you get a job, when you're going by the right way, it's gonna be blessed.
Yeah.
When you get in a relationship that's your relationship that you have to take,
yeah,
that you have to manipulate, it's gonna be
yours.
Your blessed relationship, and it's gonna flourish. Okay, because y'all are gonna be on the same.
Because that's a seed that you grew from scratch, not because you took from somebody's crop.
Because God don't bless no mess.
Yeah.
Okay. He don't bless no mess. So, so always do things with a pure heart and pure intentions. Yeah. And then, just go from there.
And that's, what, we went back to church. And I go to church every Sunday. Well, I go to virtual church. But, that was something I never thought I was going to do, was go back to church. Yeah. I really was like, I'm not going back to church. But I really want to know about God. Like, I want to know about God. So I went back to church, and I feel like I'm growing my relationship with who I think God is. And it's working for me. He's come through for my family. He's come through for me. It was times where I was like, this is not about to work out. Oh, there's about to be a huge stumbling block coming my way. He moved that stumbling block. Yeah. So even with me enrolling into school, she seen something wrong or an error in the computer or something like that, and I couldn't take my test just right then and there because she had to see what was up. God moved that stumbling block so I could take my TSI exam. Now I didn't leave there and get up there for no reason. Yeah. So he comes through for me and my family, and in small
ways, and
So that was something that was another big change or a shift that happened this year was me getting back at the church. And I just want to have some type of foundation or have someone I can go to and call to. Yeah. And make sure I'm on the right track. Yeah. And I feel like as long as I have that, I'm good. I'm done hanging around the hood boogaloos. I'm done hanging around the jibber jabbers. I'm done. Like, that is not a lifestyle for me. And I do not see how y'all women think that is okay. Anymore. I'm not. Like when I see that, it's awful. Like,
when I went out with the guy friend I went to school with, straight hood
boogaloo.
He is hood through and through, and he stays hood. Even when he tries not to be, he's a hood thug. He's a thug.
And then you don't know if people are watching for him.
Yeah, they are, because he's scary. Okay, because he's done so much dirt to people. That's why he goes to certain places and stuff like that. And I'm like, even though he's never done wrong to me, he's always a good friend.
He seems a gentleman to you.
He's a very good gentleman. He just has the hood attachment in a bad way. And you never know if it's going to catch up with him, and I might be with him one day, and I get in the cross path. And that's the only reason why I can't hang out with him like that.
You got to watch him to hang out when you're on the come up. You got to watch him. Even though... And this is something I peep. Even if you want to go out and have a good time, you got to watch who you have a good time with. You may be so tired and a single mom, you haven't gone out at all.
Yeah.
And this one person come and be like, oh, let's go out and have fun. That person may be the wrong person to go out and have fun with. And that may be a test to see if you're going to break. Y'all, I learned that from the dude that, from the midget that I was talking to, 2 years ago? A year? I think it's been 2 years now. It's just, I was wanting to go out and have fun. Like, I just was not living. And I feel like it was presented to me to see if I was going to take the bait, and I took it. Yeah. And so now I know my lesson. Just because somebody offers me a good time doesn't mean I have to take it.
Yeah,
I don't have to take it.
A good time at all. You know,
yeah, because
it's the devil in disguise.
And that's that. Okay? It may be a good time, but it may be a bad time in the long run. And I'm not trying to have a bad time in the long run. I'm trying to have a good time throughout the entire time I'm hanging out with you. So that's my lesson now. I think before I go out with anybody. I think about the type of person you are now. I get to know you a little bit more now.
Especially now that you have a child.
Now that I have a child, I try to just think before I do things.
Yeah. And
I think that's getting me farther than what I thought, because people be wanting to hang out with me. I tell them no. So I'm really a homebody now. So yeah. But that's just that, y'all. Getting back to you is something that you really need to search for. Get back to your roots, get back to your hobbies, get back to your goals, and don't steer away from your goals for a temporary feeling or a temporary time.
Yeah.
And that's just that. But do you have anything else to elaborate on this topic? First of all, stream Nicki Minaj. Pink Friday tour sold out. Yeah, Nicki Minaj. Had to throw that in there because the tour is sold out. Oh yeah. Had to do a second leg. Name a person you know do a second leg tour. Okay. Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna work my hardest to get to one of them concerts. For real. That's something I want to do. Just like I went to do Audition, I'm gonna go to that one.
Y'all, we've been planning because we have birthday month starts next month. Yeah. Our holiday season starts next month. For us. To the remaining of the year. The remainder. That includes holidays and birthdays, but mainly just birthdays. Birthdays, yeah. So to squeeze a concert in there, it's gonna be challenging. But whatever. If I get to see her, that'll be great. That'll be great. If not, then we have a backup though. We have a backup, and I'm gonna enjoy these birthday parties. Yeah. Okay. So we have birthdays and holidays, y'all. Crazy. That's why I'm saying, like, this year for content is gonna be kind of a struggle to squeeze it in. But I'm gonna try my best, y'all. I'm gonna try to get y'all that content out there. But
maybe the birthdays are the content.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe like the content is the content in holidays is the birthday content. Yeah. But just sitting down to edit is
I know. And I've listened to people how they say I have to edit. They seem so unmotivated by having to edit. Yeah, because you want your stuff to look a certain way. Yeah. And I want my content to kind of shift a certain way, and it's not looking how I think it looks in my head. It's a job. It's a job. That it's a job to edit. So,
but I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna take a little break. But once I get my creative flow back, it's over. Okay. So yeah. But this is going to conclude this episode. I really hope y'all enjoyed the last episode. And we cannot wait to see y'all in season 3. Hopefully things are upgraded for us. Which it will be. I'm going to work on getting new equipment, content. Maybe we might even get a studio.
Maybe so. Maybe we can do turn the camera on. And do our thing like that.
Yeah. So we're going to come back better. We just got to get ourselves together first so that we can produce good content for y'all.
This is just the second season. We just, we new to this. So
what Tory Lane say? This is just the what? Intro. Oh. Okay. So yeah, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm Ray.
I'm Dee.
And this has been an episode of Talkz. See you next season.
Bye.
Bye.